All 10 secret rares for Dimension Force are here. I'm like 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get to 105,000. Number one on the secret list here is Libromancer Fire. So this is our exclusive for this set. It's actually really good. So you can reveal ritual monster in your hand to special summon this card. Completely generic, by the way. If this card is special summon, you can add a Libromancer monster from your deck to your hand, except for Libromancer Fire. You can only use each effect of Libromancer Fire once per turn. On a level 4, this is not bad. It's got some relatively interesting interaction points with some of the other things that this new Libromancer support can do. I mean, Libromancer's got some huge upgrades in this set, and I'm kind of curious to know how it'll settle up with the rest of the meta in terms of things. I think it could definitely be tier 2 in terms of being one of those rogue breaker decks that players can kind of pick up and go, oh yeah, I can stand a chance with this. Alright, number 2 on our list here is Therian's King Regulus. This card is the nuts. Sky Striker, Infinitrack, you know, all the Machine Earth Toolbox decks are going to get a kick out of this. You can target a Therion monster or a machine monster in your graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, equip the monster to this card. So you can equip a Therions to it or the machine, alright? When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can send a Therion monster card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to negate that effect. So this thing can send itself. That's actually like why this is like so free. It's a 2800 body you can deploy. Equip one of your Sky Striker links onto, and you get a free negate. And then a Therion monster equipped with this card will get a 700 attack boost and can activate the second effect listed above as if it were Therian King Regulus, which would be the pop effect. So if you're playing it in-house in the deck, you get to pass on that skill here, which is actually relevant to the next Therion here, which is Therion Lily Borea, or Bori. So you can only use each of the following effects of Therion Lily Bori once per turn. So you can target a Therion monster or a plant monster, ooh, in your graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, equip that monster to this card. So, plant shenanigans. So you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard to add a Therion's spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So you can go search for the field spell, which does more interactions for the deck. And then, of course, we have the skill, a Therion monster equipped with this card gets 700 attack, and you can activate the second effect, which is the discard or the send from your hand or on the field to the graveyard to search for a Therion spell and trap card. Yeah, you know, I understand perfectly why they made both of these secret rares, because they're that incredibly good. Alright, next up is Vice of Starfrost, the sneak peek promo here. A lot of people are going to be looking for this card because you get some pretty cute interactions in the future stuff here. But if this card is in your hand, target one monster you control with a different type and attribute than this card. Destroy that monster, and if you do, special summon this card. It's actually interesting that it does that, but it's fine. You can only use this effect of Vice of Starfrost once per turn. And this card destroys the opponent's monster by battle. You can make this card gain attack equal to half the original attack or defense of that monster, which is ever higher. Your choice if tied. But this is also a light tuner monster that's a level 6, which just screams Ultimaya Tzolk'in plays to me. We already have seen in the past where Ultimaya Tzolk'in getting the chance to exist in the format because some random tuner running around in left field got the chance to do something. But alas, here we are yet again with this. So not a bad secret rare whatsoever. Next up is a Legal Knight. This is our future support here for the adventure stuff. Looks at Griffin Rider and laughs if banned. So this is another level 7. During the main phase, if you control no monsters, or if you control that adventure token, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you control an adventure token, quick effect, you target up to 2 cards your opponent controls. You'll pass control of this card over to your opponent, and then you return those targeted cards to the hand. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so what if you give your opponent a card? You get to bounce 2 cards on their field back to their hand. That can cause a lot of interactions. Giving your opponent a level 7 monster might not be, the greatest thing in the world, but your interaction points with this, an Omni Negate versus a dual bounce, alright, they're pretty good. I guess you take what you get at this point in time. All real big things considered here. Next up is the Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. During the end phase, you can add a ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand and then return this card to the hand. I mean, it's a cool little scale effect, I guess. And then you can ritual summon this card with Odd Eyes Advent and must either be ritual summon or pendulum summon. So yes, you can pendulum summon this as long as you have enough scales to do so. Each time your opponent spot summons a monster from extra deck, your opponent will take 300. Alright, that's fine. Then once per turn, your opponent activates a spell card or effect, quick effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone if you do negate that effect. Then if you place this ritual summon card in your pendulum zone, you spot summon an Odd Eyes from your deck. But, I mean, I don't really care about that. I care about the placing this and negating clause for basically free. Like, hello? Free real estate? Like, easy peasy lemon squeezy when it comes to this. So this one, not too bad. Alright, I mean, considering this is like the headliner for the set. Next up is Alba Lenitis, the Abyss Dragons. Remember, it's a Fallen of Albaz plus one or more dragon monsters. Cannot be used as fusion material. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above monsters from any monster zone to the graveyard. Y'all ready to watch me play against Dragon Link, set my Fallen of Albaz, and contact fuse out with the world? Because that's what's going to happen. This card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase, up to the number of materials used for it. And then once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add a polymerization normal spell card or a fusion normal spell card from your deck to your hand. Technically, this searches for Fusion Destiny. Alright, it's a cute little good interaction. For sure. This is probably one of the more powerful cards in the set. A huge upgrade to Fallen of Albaz. Like, I cannot believe this card actually exists. Like, they just wanted to go, no fun allowed for Fallen of Albaz ever again. Or for Dragon Link. Next up is Psychic End Punisher here. So it's 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner to make this thing. I expect this thing to be one of your higher end cards that people want to have to play. While your life points are less or equal to your opponent's, this Synchro Summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Okay. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, target one monster you control and one card your opponent controls. Banish them. Alright. At the start of battle phase, you can make this card gain attack equal to the difference in your life points and your opponent's. Yeah. This thing's going to get big in a lot of scenarios. And that's not a, you lose the attack points at the end of the turn. No. That's, you maintain that. Alright, this thing gets huge. I'm actually kind of intrigued that, like, if this card sticks around on a field long enough, it's going to get the chance to do some scary things here. Next up is Beyond the Pendulum. Anybody surprised about this being a secret rare? No? So it's 2+ effect monsters, including a pendulum monster. If this card is Link Summon card in the extra monster zone, you pay 1,200 life points, add a pendulum monster, protect your hand, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate monster effects. Also, the effects of cards in your pendulum zone are negated until you pendulum summon. So this is the unlock. If two monsters with different original levels are pendulum summoned at the same time the zones this card points to, and target two cards on the field and destroy them. Interesting enough, it's just not your opponent's cards. But with the loss of Electromite, now we're getting this card to the game here. You'll get the chance to see pendulums step up. There's a big question mark there because it's still pendulums at the end of the day. They still have to do something, and they've been punched in the face too much. But the new support, I hope, will give them a chance to shine in the light here. And the last secret rare in the set is the Scareclaw Tryhard. Now remember, it's 3 effect monsters to make this Link 3. Alright, must be Link Summon. All face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense position. Alright, unaffected by the activated effects of a defense position monster. And once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, target one level 3 Scareclaw monster in your graveyard. Special summon if you do add a Scareclaw monster to your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for Scareclaws. I don't really care about all that. I just care all face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense position. I love generic floodgates. and then unaffected by the activated effects of defense position monsters. Seems so worth it. So this is your 10 secret rares for Dimension Force. Are any of us really surprised by any of this? Because I'm not. Please leave a comment about Tomy 2XA. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I will in fact see your beautiful faces back here later on the day with some more cool awesome content. You guys stay safe out there, alright? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.